The important thing to understand is the way Quest works is we attach the token to property rights, not to the property.
So maybe you can give me like a real life example of like a deal you've done, or maybe a student of yours, like you kind of break down like what were the numbers, what were the reasons, what went well, what were some of the surprises.
I'll give you a real life example of a home right here in Salt Lake City. I'm going to round the numbers up just so we can keep it really round so we don't have these long numbers. Basically, you have a $500,000 house with a $240,000 mortgage on the house. And the $240,000 mortgage had a $1,580 payment. And that $1,580 payment covered principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Okay. Then what we did is we tokenized the $500,000, $500,001 tokens. And then the tokens were sold. And now the home's equity is divided into $500,001 chunks. Then the homeowner got the $500,000 minus the $240,000 mortgage in crypto. So they got 266,000-ish dollars in USDC, and then they just use the exit ramp of their choice to get the cash out. The important thing to understand is the way Quest works is we attach the token to property rights, not to the property. And that's the important thing to understand is, so for example, these people that own the tokens on this property, they don't have the right to knock on the door and sleep on the couch. They can't trespass the house. They can't do anything because they just own the equity, right? Rights of equity, not rights of occupancy. Now, the homeowner no longer has a $1,580 payment. All they're responsible now for is their taxes, their insurance, and maintaining the property. So their expenses dropped by about 58% on the property. So a pretty dramatic drop on their expenses. But if they go to sell their property today, they're going to get nothing on the HUD-1. It's going to show zero.
Fascinating. So I'm going to try to unravel it a little bit, right? Because it's even it's new. It's definitely new, right? So tokens are attached to the property rights. In other words, I'm thinking of it kind of like a lender, right? If you owe money to somebody upon the sale of the asset and you owe all of the equity, imagine you had 100% financing, right?
Right.
You got to pay, or the value of your house dropped and you have no equity. You're going to pay the loan back and you're walking away with zero.
Right.
So it's sort of like perhaps, doing more financing, right? In one way to think about it. However, the token people do not have the right to occupy, right? They can't come in and live there. In the meantime, you pay property insurance, you pay taxes, the homeowner, right?
Yeah.
You pay the standard stuff. So it's almost like maybe between ownership and renting. Is that a fair summary?
It's better because you still have your name stays on title. So the homeowner's name stays on title. They're the legal occupied occupant, legally authorized occupant was the word I was looking for. They have all the rights that go along with property. They can, keep in mind, they're no mortgage now, right? They can rent the property out. They don't have to give that to the token owners. They can leave for a short term. They can make it an Airbnb. They can do anything they can do as a homeowner. It's just if they sell, the equity has already been sold. So
fascinating.
That's it. So what we've done
so it's better than renting because you have so much more of the rights, right?
Complete ownership. Now, you deal with this capital gains issue, right? So I'll just say a few things without saying them. If you have equity in a home, and even if you have it paid off, and you turn all of your equity 100% into tokens, and even if you own 100% of those tokens in your wallet, at the title company, when you sell the house, it's going to show up as zero. Okay.
Fascinating. Okay.
So what happens is the title company then sends the money not to you because the equity was sold, right? So the title company sends the check to the crypto company and says, here's a payoff of the equity that you were attached to on the property. The crypto company then notifies every token owner, your tokens are now worth $1, whatever, and here's the USDC equivalent because the collateral is no longer in existence.
I'd have to see like some arrows and some like boxes and stuff,
Yes.
but I'm digging because same thing with the deferred sales trust, right? There's you gotta lend the funds as an owner. You got to lend them to the trust in exchange for a promise of the trust to pay you back over time, and you got to have the buyer cash ready to go, or he can get a lender too, but he's got to put it there, and it's you got to kind of see in the box to kind of get it. But I imagine it's like anything, Mike. It's like riding a bike, right? The first time you ride this thing, it's like, whoa, I'm wobbly. Maybe I'm falling off a little bit. But as
Hmm.
you're doing these deals and you're seeing it, right, it becomes more seamless. Is that a fair summary?
Yeah, it does.